Today we're going to compare the performance of HIVE to SPARK-SQL. This is our terminal window, and these are all the codes we're going to need. Before you start anything, just make sure that your instance is running. Okay, it's running in here. Make sure you have the correct ID number, so every time you start it, this ID number changes, so it is really important. So let's close it. Before we start anything, let's go ahead and look at the table. Okay, here is our table. So each row represents an order. These are our descriptive data, and these are our quantitative data here. Before you import it, just make sure that you remove the spaces in column names, because computers do not understand spaces. So let's close it. Okay, there you go. So right now we are in the main directory, so we want to go to the desktop. So DC cd desktop. So we are in desktop now. I know that my key is here in this desktop, and I know that my table is here. It's in desktop as well. So first of all, I want to transfer this file, the table, to the cloud, and this is the code I'm gonna need. I'm just gonna basically copy and paste it and explain what it really means. So this code copies it, and it copies it with this key, so it's basically a password. So I'm copying this file to this directory. Let's go. Okay, it's done. 100% done. So we transferred it. So we want to log into the cloud machine now. So this is the code we're gonna need. Boom, we're in. So basically we use the key on the desktop to connect to the root user at this location, this server. So we're inside the server now. Let's make sure that we have all the disks that we need. Okay, we need all the disks. So let's go ahead and mount it if it's not mounted. So it's just saying that it's already mounted, which is good. Let's go ahead and start Hadoop if we haven't started it yet. Let's go ahead and start it. It's gonna take a while. So as this running, I can make a little bit more explanation. Then we're gonna start our database. Then we're gonna start our Metascore. They might be running or may not be running, so we're gonna start it anyways. Then we're gonna create a folder inside our Hadoop database, and we're gonna put this record, this file, this table into the database, Hadoop database. So inside Hive, we're gonna create a table. We're gonna call it sales table Hive, and we're gonna run some basic queries. Then we're gonna shift to SQL. We're gonna create sales table Spark in it, and we're gonna load the data. Then we're gonna run some basic queries. So that's gonna be pretty much it. Okay, so it's run. So let's start the Postgres database. Okay, it's already running. Good. So let's start the Metascore. meta store. Okay, this is also good. This is a good sign. It's running. So let's shift to the other user using this command. Okay, we're in the other user. Let's see what kind of files we have under that database. hdfs, dfs, ls, user. Okay. Okay, yeah, I did a mistake there. Okay, these are all the files we have. As you can see, we already have the project folder in here. If we did not have that, this is how we would create the folder. So this is good, and we want to put this table into this location under the database, Hadoop database. So let's go ahead and see where this specific file is. And it should be under our current directory. So list the files. Okay, yeah, this is in our current directory. So this is good. We're gonna put this file into this location now. So it went through, which is good. So let's go ahead and start the Hive. To start Hive, basic type Hive. That's it. Let's go ahead and start it. Okay, we're inside Hive. So let's see what tables we have. Show tables. Okay, these are all the tables we have. So it's good that we don't have any table called sales table Hive. Now we're gonna create it. Okay, 9.3 seconds. Good, we have the table. So let's put this file into the table. enter 1.5 seconds. Okay, let's run it. Let's count number of customers per state and then sort it by the total customers per state, and we're gonna choose the highest 5. So what this code basically does is it selects states, and per state, for each state, it counts number of customers, and the count variable is assigned as total customers state. It's a new column name, and at the end of the day we're gonna sort it by this new variable, and we're gonna choose the highest 5 states with limiting it to 5. So it's taken some time for HIVE to run, which is actually something we expected. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time for HIVE to run. Then it's gonna give us a score, the total number of seconds it took for it to take the run the code, and we're gonna put the seconds into this table here. Then we're gonna compare the results. So we're still waiting. After we do that, we're gonna compare total number of sales, not number, total sales values per postal code, and we're gonna rank it by total sales postal code, and we're gonna choose the highest 10. Then we're gonna repeat the same process in SPARK-SQL. We're gonna create a table. We're gonna load the table, and we're gonna run similar queries, and we're gonna get some performance scores. But for now, we are right here. All right, we got the results. So it took about 181 seconds. It's a lot. So we don't know how big this number is until we actually run SPARK-SQL. But before we do that, we have another query to run. And that query is this one. Let's copy it, paste it, and run it. So looking at this score, so this took about 3 minutes to run. So this may take a similar time. So you may expect to wait around 3 minutes to get the results. So be patient. So in the meantime, let me talk a little bit about how we created the table. So this row ID or any ID on this table comes from our original table. If you look at the original table, this is the row ID, this is the first column name. When we put the first column name here, and we're going to assign a string, and the second column name is order ID. If you look at our table, this is our order ID, and we're assigning as a string. Pretty much we're assigning everything string, although these are not original string. But if you assign string, anything other than string to these variables, it returns null. It has something to do with the Mac configuration, but so I would recommend for you to keep it as string as well. You're gonna see in a second that this works just fine. The table really understands that this is quantitative measures, which is very interesting. So basic difference between this table to Spark table is the way we assign the variables. So instead of string, we put varchar 500. That's the basic difference. So other than that, pretty much everything is pretty much the same. For the SPARK-SQL, also the code is a little bit different. Instead of assigning the count variable to a new variable, we keep it as is. So we're not writing count CustomerID as something. This stays as is, and we order it by count ID, and instead of the newly assigned column name. It's the same in here. So that might be one of the reasons SPARK-SQL might be running faster. But in the meantime, we're gonna sit down and wait to get the results. So again, this ran in about 3 minutes, more than 3 minutes. It's a lot of time. So the basic idea behind HIVE is that it runs big data really fast, but as you can see here, the performance is not that good. It's still running. So before we get the results, let's interpret these results. So it basically means that we got the highest number of customers from California, which makes sense because California is the crowdest state. Then comes New York, then Texas, then Pennsylvania, then Washington. So these are the 5 states where our 5 most highest customer base lives in, I would say. So if you had to make any advertisement, you can focus on these states. But you should also keep in mind that these states are actually very crowded states. So population per capita or anything like that will be a more reliable measure. There are more customers in California just because it is a crowded state. So here the result of Pennsylvania is a little bit interesting, and Washington is a little bit interesting. So it's still running. Let's see if anything wrong with the code. It is not. So it has been 2 hours and the Hive has never stopped running. So I guess something wrong. And there's something truly wrong about here. Okay. So this is the results I got from my earlier query using Hive, and this was about 74 seconds. I'm gonna close that. So here I started SPARK-SQL, and I'm going to create a new table in SPARK-SQL, and here is the code for that. Okay, the table is created. Now we load this CSV file into the table. Copy and paste it. Okay, it is done. Now let's do the query and compare the performance. Okay, it's about 19 seconds, so that's pretty good. For the same query, Hive gave the results in 3 minutes, and Spark gave it in 19 seconds. So let's try this similar query compared to Hive. Here we go. 7 seconds. Okay, so if you look at the numbers, so SPARK-SQL truly outperforms Hive. So here you see SPARK-SQL in general 10 times faster, at least 10 times faster than Hive. So this pretty much concludes our coding in here, and thank you very much for watching.